Welcome to Cooking with Rorius.
Welcome back to Cooking with Rorius. Hey guys, Rorius here. Welcome back to my kitchen. You might see some things look a little different than they did last time. The kitchen is like this close to being done, with just a few things that are missing. But I noticed the other day, today, as of the video coming out, is the 2-year anniversary of Cooking with Rorius. So I had to do something. I had to do something. What I thought I'd do is I would cook something that is like a family staple. Maybe not staple. A common family treat amongst the Rorius family. is banana cake. I was thinking about making it like a Christmas thing, but honestly I didn't have time to prepare. I've been super busy. So I thought I'd let you join me as I make one of the Rorius family banana cakes. Note, though, that this isn't just going to be straightforward banana cake. We don't have the right amount of bananas to cook a banana cake, so I thought I would substitute some banana with some blueberry. So we're actually going to make a banana blueberry cake. Let's see the instructions. You can tell that this recipe has been used a lot. See all the stains and shit? This is the recipe I'm going to be using. This is from a book called Easy as Pie. They have a bunch of different dessert foods, but this is the recipe I'm going to follow. Instead of 3 large bananas mashed, I'm going to have 2 large bananas and 1 banana equivalent of blueberries. Approximately volume equivalent. Feel free to follow along if you wish. First step. We need 125 grams of butter, and we need how much sugar? A whole cup of sugar. So, place your whatever container on your scale. Set your scale to 0. Oh, of course, I forgot the step. Preheat your oven. The recipe says to preheat it to 190 degrees, but sometimes I preheat it to 200 because it's a little faster to cook on the outside, because the inside I like to keep a little bit gooey. My hair is crazy at the moment because it is humid as hell and I just had a shower. So, we've got all the butter we need. We have 125 grams of butter here. Now I just need to put a cup of sugar in. Oh, this is in frame. I just suddenly thought that I have not checked. I know I'm not, that's why I'm leaning down like this. But hopefully everything else is in shot. Yes, it is. As far as I can tell, it's in shot. So the way this works is we basically have this butter and the sugar. We have to combine them. So you have a fluffy butter sugar mix. It's best to use like a wooden spoon or something equivalent. And you just basically want to knead that sugar into the butter until there isn't any loose sugar left. So your butter should look a bit like this. Hopefully that's in focus. Basically it should look like a butter mix. And all the sugar should look like it's been consumed by the butter. We're good to go. Next stage, beat in 1 egg. Need 1 egg. Give that a good old beating until it's all mixed in. A mix. They could have used the word mix, because you're not really beating it. They could have used mix or merge in the same context. But there we go, all mixed in. Now I need to beat in the bananas. This is where the recipe will differ a little bit because of the way I'm doing it. I have 2 bananas here. The riper the better. The browner the banana the better. Get this out of here. Now we want to peel these bananas. Peel them? Whoa, no way. Get rid of all the little stringy bits. Ideally you want to peel them the regular way and not the way I peel them. Which is to... Okay. Listen with Rorius. When it comes to bananas, in the animal kingdom, in the world of nature, most animals don't actually peel it this way. Most animals squeeze the nipple end and peel from here. You'll see apes doing that. They peel from the nipple end of the banana. People who are familiar with the channel will know why I'm explaining this, but I will not elaborate any further. So, we should have 2 bananas in our bowl. Let's mash them. You know how to mash a banana. I do not need me explaining it. So, now that we've mashed our bananas, let's put it into our butter, sugar, and egg mixture. Right in there. Yeah. I'll give that a good old beat again, so that's all mixed in. Get this shit out here. That was the oven getting up to temperature. My oven now says when it's up to temperature. So fancy. Next up, we need to mix our flour and our baking powder into a little bowl, just so we can merge them together. Let's do that right now. This is just regular flour. Nothing fancy. You could probably use self-rising, because it already has baking powder in it. But whatevs. This recipe calls for regular flour with baking powder, so that was 1.5 cups flour, and now a teaspoon of baking powder. Just sprinkled over the top. My hair is being such a nuisance today because it's so humid that even my product just like stops holding. Now mix in your flour and baking powder, just roughly, so that there's a bit of a mixture between the two. Now the recipe calls for adding half of this and then the liquid component and then the other half of this, but you don't need to do that. Just toss it in. Also, I went and got more product and put it in my hair, so hopefully it'll be a little bit more wieldy. You can just fold these in. Fold this stuff in. Oh yeah. That was unnecessarily sexual right there. Just like, oopsies. Just like, what's that guy? Ainsley. Just give your meat a good old rub. Yeah. Alright, this will dry it out a little bit, but we're about to add the liquid ingredients in, so that will be okay in just a second. So just somewhere in like your cup from before, measure out your milk and your baking soda. 4 tablespoons of milk. I would normally do this over the sink, but I cannot be bothered moving the camera. 1, 2, 3, oopsies. Oopsies, 4. Couple of underfilled, couple of overfilled. That's all good. Baking isn't about preciseness, it's about having fun. Now we add our 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Please, and then give that a good old mix. Is that the money shot, is it? Alright, I believe we just add this in. Like that. Alright, now give it a good old turn over. Good old mix. Oh my god. You're not supposed to smell this much. I'm just Russian. Using Rory. Insert a picture of me with like Russian cliche shit on. Alright, our mixture's basically done, except this is where, as I said before, this is where our recipe will vary, as I have blueberries. We actually grow our own blueberries, but they're not in season at the moment. They're gonna be really freaking soon, but not yet. So, just pour in your banana equivalent of blueberries, and just really delicately turn them in. You don't want to mash them.
And then my phone camera died. Well, it technically ran out of space, but that's okay. What I did from here is, as I said, I folded in the blueberries. I gave it a good old mix. I made a comment about Ainsley and given it a good old rub. In fact, I missed a bunch of little story things I did at the end here. The reason I talked about being careful and just turning the blueberries in is that you don't want to mash them, because if you mash the blueberries, it will make the whole cake turn a bluey, reddy, purple color. At the time, I mentioned how, actually, that'd be good for branding purposes. But what I'm trying to make is a visually appealing cake. Not that the Rorius logo or branding is not visually appealing, but a purple cake isn't quite as appetizing as a nice golden brown colored cake. I put the mix aside for a second, and then I took out our round cake tin, which I'll show here with the cake already in it, the cake mix already in it. And basically, you just get a stick of butter and you rub the inside. You can use either like a non-stick spray, but that's like an animal fat spray, or you can use butter. I prefer using butter because it gives the inside of the cake, gives the part of the cake that touches the tin almost like a crust, like a little buttery crust, rather than the animal fat, which can sometimes leave like not a great taste on the edge of the cake. All I know is I used to get heartburn. I used to get indigestion if I didn't use butter. You know, if I use the animal spray. So I prefer the butter. And then once you've liberally coated the inside of the tray, inside of the mold, if you will, then you just pour the mix in, spread it evenly so that, make sure to like rotate as you're pouring the cake mix in so that it will go sort of evenly around the tin, and then just take your spoon and just level it. Don't need to be too, you know, crazy about it. Just level it out. And then I went on a little rant about how, as a kid, at the end of cooking, Mum would give me the bowl that has, I can take a photo of that. Mum would always give me the bowl so that I could basically get a little rubber scraper, a little rubber spatula, and eat some of the raw mix. I know in the US, they say you shouldn't eat raw egg and those kind of things, but here in New Zealand we don't have those kind of issues, so eating the raw cake batter is no problem. And I said something along the lines of, if you want to interest your kids in baking, let them do that, because suddenly cooking with mum or dad becomes, you get the treat that is the cake batter, which is really sweet and tasty, as well as the final finished cake or muffins or whatever. So it's a win-win. I also just need to say thanks to my mum for teaching me how to bake, teaching me how to cook from a young age. I used to help mum cook and bake. Way back when I was a little kid, we'd be making muffins, and she'd, you know, ask me to grab some of the ingredients and I'd help her out, and I would always get the batter mix at the end to lick while I was waiting for the cake to cook. And yeah, she's the reason why I'm interested in cooking to this day. And also that book that the recipe comes from is from when she was learning to become a home ec teacher. So that book is from 1976, and that recipe is from all the way back then. So yeah, thanks to Mum for all the inspiration over the years to cook. Then we shove that cake in the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes. The recipe states 30 to 40 minutes, I think. I have not got the recipe in front of me. But whatever the case, we usually, because we're cooking it at 200 degrees Celsius, usually it only takes about 25 to 30 minutes. That's another thing I brought up, is that all these measurements are in Celsius. All the cups are British cups. So 250 mils is a cup here. If you're an American, your cups will be about 225, 230, something like that. So all those measurements that are relating to cups are 250 mils. Well, I think we're all caught up. I'm a little annoyed because I said some funny things and I don't remember what I said. But I'll see you with the final product. Alright, I set the cake for 30 minutes just to be safe, but it's looking pretty good already at 5 minutes remaining. So I thought I'd give it a little bit of a poke, just to see. Comes out clean. Yep, I think that's done. Yeah. And there we have it, the completed cake. We've just got to let this cool off for a moment. Once we do, we'll whip it out of the tin and we'll give it a taste.
Alright, I can't be bothered waiting any longer. Let's get this cake out. So, what's best is to get your cake, not, you know, let it cool down a fair bit. This is probably still a little hot, but you'll like get better results getting your cake out of its tin if you wait for it to cool down. Get like a tray of some kind. I'm just using a metal tray. And then all you gotta do is flip your cake, and if you've buttered it well, actually I should do this. This is the trick. After you've buttered your tin, or sprayed it with an anti-stick thing, whatever, then it should come out pretty easily. Let's give it a shake. See, I didn't wait for it to cool down enough. There we go, frickin' perfect. Look at that. Nothing left in the tin. Oh, brilliant. Now, what we do, we grab a nice big plate. Grab a nice big old plate. Place it this way and go, whoa, again. Done. Cake to plate. Now, I believe that recipe that we did actually also includes a lemon frosting. The lemon frosting's good, but the cake is good without it. You don't need the lemon frosting. Now, let's cut this cake and give it a try. Let's cut into this bad boy. As I said, still very warm, very hot. So, might be a little bit gooey on the inside, which is exactly how I like it. Alright. Hell yeah. Look at that. Still steaming from the cook. Friggin' delicious. Well, that was cooking with Rorius. We cooked a blueberry and banana cake. The blueberries worked really well. I've never actually done this before. I didn't even try on this before we started this episode. And you see, there's not too much blue because we didn't mash up the blueberries. We're left with just bits of blueberry throughout the cake, like a blueberry muffin, but also that delicious banana. Damn, that's good. I'll see you back at my desk.
This cake is awesome. I've always loved this banana cake recipe, but it works really well with the blueberries. So yeah, that was cooking with Rorius, banana and blueberry cake. In case I didn't say it earlier, I probably did, but in case I didn't, this is the 2-year anniversary since I last did a Cooking with Rorius video. It really goes to show how long it's been since we started getting our kitchen renovated, because we'd already started when I cooked the Nuka-Cola recipe last time. And we're still not finished. There's still a few things needing fixing up. So yeah, it's been a real journey since we were last in the kitchen. I hope you enjoyed this. This was something I decided to throw together at the last minute. So it's a bit haphazard with mistakes in there. If I had had more time, I would have refilmed. I would have made another cake and I would have refilmed that section. But unfortunately, I'm doing this the day before this video goes out. So there's just no time. I guess at this end stage, all I really want to say is thank you to everyone who's stuck around. If you saw the last Cooking with Rorius video, especially if you saw it, you know, the day it came out, and then are still here 2 years later watching the next Cooking with Rorius video, like, that means the freaking world to me, man. I appreciate it. I really do. It's really nice being in this air-conditioned room. The rest of the house is like 26 degrees or something like that, 25 degrees. And here, It's like almost chilly. There's a little bit of a crispness to the air. It's really nice. I have several more Cooking with Rorius videos planned for the near future. But if you have anything in mind that you'd like to see me cook, leave them down in the comments below. I am planning to cook a few things from video games. Much like we cooked the Nuka-Cola recipe last time, I have a few plans for different recipes from different video games that we've like made up ourselves. Prepare to see some of them in the near-ish future. The setup that I had this time worked a little better than last time. It was mostly the same as last time. I didn't bother with the like lapel mic. I hope that wasn't a mistake. I just used the phone audio because I'm pretty sure last time I found that the phone audio was better. We had a little bit of a snafu with the phone running out of space and losing like a good, probably like 5 minutes of footage. Otherwise, I think this went well. I like keeping these low budget. I like just doing something in front of the camera and not stressing about making sure it's like the highest budget, highest quality production. Because that's not what I'm about. I'm the guy who just sits in front of the camera playing games, or just throws a camera into his cooking. It's just... I just whip my phone out and place it in the dining room, filming me cooking. And that's all I want this to be. As I said, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. If you want to see more Cooking with Rorius, then definitely hit the like button. If you want to see more stuff that I do, then subscribe. Thank you all so much for joining me in this next Cooking with Rorius, and I hope this video proves a precedent, proves to be something that is perpetuated in the future. It's English good. Basically, I hope to see me making more of these kind of videos in the future. And I hope that you hope that too. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.